Siamo qui nella sede di JP Morgan per parlare con Olivia Mayell nel corso della 2 giorni con cui JP Morgan Asset Management ha voluto invitare tutta la stampa internazionale per parlare con i suoi gestori. Cominciamo subito alla Olivia Mayell, che diciamo è il capo dei portfolio manager qui a Londra per JP Morgan. Mrs. Mayell, would you please tell us which are the main features of the JP Morgan Global Income Fund, first of all?
Of course. So the Global Income Fund is a multi-asset portfolio which is trying to achieve a nice, constant and good level of income for investors from a very diverse mixture of assets globally. So moving from high yield to global equities for high dividends, mortgage-backed securities in the non-agency space, convertible bonds, preference shares, a whole variety of things which will help us to generate a nice, strong level of income currently above 5% with a diverse mix of assets which will over time hopefully grow and give some good returns.
Who are your, let's say, the fund is more connected to retail investors or institutional investors?
So we see a whole variety of investors who need income from their investments, ranging from private clients and private banks, many of our financial advisors, promotori finanziari, all across the world who are trying to find good places to look for income need this portfolio. But that stretches up to charities and institutions who have the same needs. This idea that there are a whole range of asset classes that people don't yet get access to, but will help them to achieve that strong outcome of good income is a universal question and something which we're helping to solve.
What's your definition of multi-asset?
Well, that's the important point, because if we went back 10 years ago, it would be global equities possibly, maybe just the US and Europe, moving out from a domestic portfolio, and then some government bonds attached to that. Today, we've moved from that traditional balanced exposure to something much more diverse. People realise that in order to solve for the outcomes they need from their investments, they need to look further afield. So global to include emerging markets, a whole range of different fixed income assets, and then looking at things like REITs and preferred equities, convertible bonds, a whole variety of things to help you reach the income needs that the portfolio has.
What do you suggest to promotori finanziari? Bluerating is very much focused on promotori finanziari. Which are the main assets to bet on in the near future, let's say?
So we as a house are feeling pretty confident that we want to see developed market equities in our portfolios for income. In particular, we're very happy to have investments in European companies that have strong and growing dividends, and that's a recent position that we've really added to. In addition, we like US developed market companies that have got strong dividends. That's a good place for us to be. Outside of that, in emerging markets, we're less positive than we've been in the past. It doesn't mean that we don't have investments there, but they're smaller than they've been. Instead, we're looking at other assets, perhaps more hybrid assets. I mentioned convertible bonds, preference shares. These are offering nice, strong yields in different parts of the market and really diversify the portfolio.
You mentioned European equity. Would you tell us some company you invest on?
A whole variety. We really want a diversified exposure. We're looking across the capitalization spectrum, so small,
some sectors,
mid and large cap, many different sectors, where we really think there's very strong value. And as we talk to our European equity investment team within JP Morgan, they're very excited about the prospects for dividends, the growth of those dividends, and seeing that that really is a key driver for how companies are behaving, how they're rewarding shareholders, and how the market is really responding and looking for those income securities in the European market.
Last question, what's your opinion about the Italian market?
So we've been very happy to have some small investments in the government bond market in Italy, looking for a small amount of yield, a little bit of pickup to some of the lowest risk assets in the portfolio. We're very happy to look at that as one of the broader investments that we have. But for this portfolio, it's much more global in nature. The overlap to an Italian investor's portfolio will be very, very small. The majority of the investments will be in the US, the remainder of Europe, some investments in Asia, nice broad spectrum so that it doesn't overlap with most people's original investments they might have in Italian government and corporate bonds. This should give you something different.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mrs. Mayell.
Thank you very much.